So I think a secular Buddhism is one that is entirely concerned with this life, but that does not mean, and I'm often criticized for this, that I don't have any interest in what happens after my death.
Mm-hmm.
That is entirely wrong. A secular Buddhism is one that recognizes that the acts what we do now will have consequences, not so much for me in some hypothetical future life, which is the traditional view, but our actions will have consequences after our deaths.
Mm-hmm.
You and I, let's say I might die tomorrow, but this conversation will continue to go out. My books will continue to be published. My life, my work will continue to reverberate into maybe for a few years after my death, maybe for longer, who knows? But I think we bear an enormous responsibility for the continuation of life on this earth. And that is what is now widely understood to be a threat. And again, I'm not just thinking of human beings. Buddhism has always been very clear that its purview is not the human, but the sentient. It's all sentient beings that are our concern.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the extent to which we now understand how sentient life permeates absolutely everywhere,
yeah.
in our microbiome, in our
mm-hmm.
gut and so on. So I think what a secular Buddhism would consider is that rather than future lives, the future of life on earth would be its concern. So that would be one primary feature of a secular Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
It would also, I think, be an approach to the Dharma that would question the fact as to whether it needs to be embodied in a religious structure. Is Buddhism a religion? This is a question that's been asked ever since the West became aware of Buddhism. Is it a religion like Christianity or Islam? And clearly we think it is. Buddhism is acknowledged as one of the three world religions. And if you go to a Buddhist temple anywhere in Asia, you would be very hard pressed to say that's not a religion. It's got all the trappings, priests, incense, prayers, the lot.
Mm-hmm.
So is that really the form that is most suited to the Dharma in our times? Are we not moving, or are many people not moving into a post-religious or post-creedal world? Religious practice in the country where I live, in France, for example, has more or less fizzled out. And yet people are still asking the sorts of questions that traditionally religions have provided answers to. But religion has become toxic for many contemporary people. The Dharma, I feel, could likewise be liberated from the constraints of being a religion if it could begin to see itself as a secular rather than a religious movement.